Alright, I want to make a commentary on this Kim Kardashian robbery once again. I think there's a lot that could be learned that's relevant to the martial arts and just the whole situation. There's a lot to be learned from, even people that don't practice martial arts. But this article, I'm just going to quote what it says. It says, a source told People Tuesday that Kardashian West is blaming herself for showcasing her ring on social media. Kim's in shock. She's tearing herself up that she Snapchatted the ring so much and wore it all the time, said the insider. This incident is making her question everything, how she dresses, what she does. Another source previously told People that the entire Kardashian-Jenner family is cutting down on all public appearances for the time being. This scared everyone, said the source. They're not taking chances. It was really scary situation for the entire family, and it's just not worth it to put themselves out there unnecessarily right now. Okay, I think there's a lot to be learned, and even before this article, that's exactly what I was talking about in my other video. People, sometimes they don't learn until something happens, but this is a very serious situation. Her life easily could have ended. And then they also talked about, her bodyguard was watching over her sister and somebody else while this incident was taking place. The bodyguard arrived 2 minutes after the people left. The thing is, she only had one bodyguard. Alright? And if the bodyguard was actually there when this was going down, there's a chance that everybody in that room could have been dead. Because there could be just one person trying to escalate the situation. He gets shot and killed, and they would just be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and kill all of them. One bodyguard against 5 guys that have guns, that know what they're doing, that are experienced criminals. There's no chance. It's like one guy with a gun against 5 police officers with guns and bulletproof vests and all that. In addition, these criminals were wearing police uniforms. So that makes it even more difficult, because if you have somebody at the door knocking to come in and they're wearing a uniform, you think they have authority, or they just key themselves in. And even if you are armed and you pull your gun out on uniformed people that might be police officers, then you're going to get shot and killed. Point blank. So that makes it even more difficult. It's not like the people were wearing just civilian clothing and then they burst their way into your door, and then you have the right to kill them because there's a breaking and entering. But sometimes police officers, they have search warrants and they want to execute the search warrants, and they are in uniform, they barge themselves in, and if they see a gun on you, they're going to kill you immediately. So it's like getting pulled over by the police. You're not supposed to pull out your gun just because you're getting pulled over by a police officer. If you did, you're going to get shot and killed. So that makes it even more difficult, because even if you are armed, when you see that uniform, you're already trained, habitually trained, to not pull out a gun on a police officer, because that uniform is signifying authority over you. And if you pull out that gun, it's an immediate death for you. So you're going to hesitate to pull out the gun against somebody that's in uniform, because you know that you have no chance at that moment. But when somebody's wearing civilian clothing and they pull out a gun on you, you know you could pull out a gun on them immediately because they're not supposed to be threatening your life. But many times police officers will be pointing guns at you for whatever reason. They tell you to get out the car. You don't get out the car, they pull a gun on you. You know, they tell you to drop the knife. They pull a gun on you. You know, if you do not listen to their orders, they're gonna kill you. So that makes it an even more difficult situation. But back to the social media thing. You know, she's blasting all over the internet. You know, her $4 million ring, all these millions of dollars of jewelry that she wears everywhere. She Snapchats and Facebooks her location. I mean, you gotta look. I think they said that she has 100 million followers on Twitter. That's a lot of damn followers. You know, like, she has such a huge influence over the society, over the world. And her activities, what she chooses to do, how she chooses to dress, what she chooses to wear, it's influencing everybody. So, if she's gonna dress like a prostitute, then you got all these little women all over the world, 100 million followers plus, that want to dress like prostitutes now too. And it's like, there was a picture that they showed on an article with her cleavage and then the $4 million ring right next to it. So what is that picture saying? It's saying, here's some cleavage for you to rape. Come rape me because I'm beautiful. And then here's a $4 million ring for you to have after you rape me. It's like, that's what the picture is telling the people. It's like, come get this. Come get a piece of this ass and take my ring. You know, and the sad thing is, she's influencing everybody to be like her. Show off everything that you have for no reason at all. I mean, it's like, she already is a multi-millionaire. She already is super famous because of her reality show. What the hell is the point of her being on social media? You know, I mean, like, Instagram is not paying her money. She already made her money in the reality shows and everything else that she does. Every time she Snapchats or Instagrams a photo, is not making her money. I mean, I could understand people that aren't famous, that want to get famous to make money. That makes sense. I mean, to me, people that are in YouTube working hard to get famous, to get a lot of views so they can monetize their videos to make money, that makes sense. But people that just want to get famous off of Facebook or Instagram, when Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat is not paying them any money, to me, that doesn't make sense. Because at least with YouTube, you're taking a risk by putting yourself out there, but the risk is for money. You want to make some money. But a lot of times, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you're telling people your location, you're showing them your home, you're showing them your address, you're showing them how much money you have, you're showing them who you're dating, you're showing all this private and personal information, and what do you get back? Nothing. All you get back are people that could threaten your life. Oh, you get back people complimenting you. Oh, wow, great picture. Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, what are you eating? Oh, I like that food that you're eating. Oh my God, you know, such a beautiful outfit. You're getting back compliments from people, to me, I don't see a point in that. I don't. And for somebody that has so much money like herself, why even put yourself out there like that? Risk so much. For what? Just for more attention. So she puts a photo up of her having cleavage or whatever, and say she gets 10 million likes. Okay, but did she make money from any of those 10 million likes? No. Who cares? But like I said, if she makes a video and then it has 400 million views and she's making money off that video, then that makes sense. So like, I think this is a lesson learned for everybody out there involved in the social media. It's like, if you're on these social media websites, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, what is your purpose being there? What do you want? Like, why are you showing off your nice cars, showing off your wedding photos, showing off your wedding ring, showing off your outfit? Like, why? Like, are you getting money? From what I see, you don't get any money. Not at all. So then if you're not getting money, then why are you doing it? What, so people could say, hey, wow, that's a really nice ring. Wow, that's amazing. I wish I had that. It's almost like she is putting herself out there to make people feel how incomplete they are, and how they have to be like her. They need to have a $4 million ring themselves. They need to have cleavage like that. They need to be married to Kanye West themselves. But then it's like, I don't understand, like, putting out these desires upon people of which they will never obtain. Like showing everybody a $4 million ring. Hey, you could come and get this, but you'll never get it. So then why even pay attention to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here I got cleavage, I got a nice body, but I'm married to Kanye West. Well, you're never gonna be with her, so why even watch it? Why even look at the photos? It's like putting out an image to the people of which they cannot ever obtain, like ever. Like, I don't appreciate that. That to me is just kind of, it's teasing people. It's like a stripper who knows they don't want anything to do with you, but they're just teasing you just to get you all wild up for nothing. And they give you nothing. They just make you frustrated. And that's the thing that I really dislike about people like her and so many other people out there in this world. They're dangling something in front of you of which you'll never ever obtain. And then they're making you feel like your life is worthless because you can't get what they have. And fact of the matter is, truthfully, she deserves it. If not, she deserves even worse than what happened. It's like, there's enough poor people in this world. There's enough people out there in misery. Why do you have to rub it in everybody's faces how filthy rich you are when we live in a world full of poverty and violence, aggression, and we live in such a terrible world already? Why do you have to rub it in everybody's faces about how much wealth you have obtained and how all these poor people will never ever have what you have? You know, it's like, and like purposefully doing it. It's like people are starving, dying on the streets, and then you're Snapchatting to everybody how much food you have and how they're never gonna have what you have, and you're just making it things worse for them. It's like $4 million on your finger. That's like multiple mansions on your finger. To just let the whole world know. I mean, back in Tupac's time, he was complaining about stuff like this in an interview. And ironically, Tupac himself was wearing all these gold chains, and he actually got shot up in an elevator, robbed for his chains. And at that time, I think his chains were worth like $60,000 or $100,000 or whatever. Nothing compared to that $4 million ring. But when you live the lifestyle of Tupac and you're around all these ruthless, aggressive, violent people, when you put yourself out there like that, you got these gold chains, diamond rings, fancy cars, they're just gonna kill you. And not only will they just kill you, they're gonna get away with it because the police don't give a damn about that community. So they're gonna make sure that it's unsolved. So you have no protection. There's not even the protection of, oh, people probably will not want to kill me because they don't want to go to jail for the rest of their lives. There's not even that protection because they already know they're gonna get away with it because the police don't care anyway. So it's pretty much like living in a world where there's no laws, where people don't even have to worry about going to jail for killing you. It's like this. It's like robbing a bank for $11 million, knowing beforehand that you're not going to get caught. Then what is the incentive of not doing it when you already know you're not going to get caught? And that's what happens in the streets. It's like you got to protect what you have. You're responsible for yourself. The police aren't going to help you. So if you're going to have that nice car, if you're going to have all that jewelry, you're going to have all this money, you're going to flaunt the whole world, then you better be protected. Like heavily protected, heavily armed. Just think about it like this. Just thinking about this as well. They're talking about she lost about $11 million worth of jewelry. That's a lot of damn money. From my understanding, I don't even think most banks hold $11 million. I don't know how much money banks will hold, but I don't even think they'll have $11 million. I think most banks, in my eyes, probably don't even have $1 million. But look at how heavily secured the bank is. You go to the bank, there's cameras everywhere. As soon as somebody walks in with a mask, it's going to be a huge red flag identified in the camera. There's bulletproof glass. There's multiple people in the bank, multiple workers. There's an alarm, a secret alarm that they tap into. As soon as they hit that alarm, the police will be there immediately. Once the police come, there's going to be a swarm of police officers. A bunch of them everywhere. Converging onto these bank robbers. And then these police officers all have guns. They got AR-15s. They all got bulletproof vests. I mean, it's just all these people coming to stop the robbers. And how much money these robbers gonna come away with? They'll be lucky if they get $200,000. But here you're talking about $11 million compared to a few $100,000, if that, from these bank robbers. And then look at all this security intact for just to protect a few $100,000. And then you got Kim Kardashian, $11 million of jewelry, protected by who? Not even one person was there to protect her. Now, how does that make sense? It's like you're walking down the street and you got $1,000 in your pocket. You already feel a little cautious because you got $1,000 in your pocket and somebody could steal it. So you're already a little bit on guard. But imagine everywhere you go, you're rocking $11 million. $4 million on your finger, another $10 million on your neck. I mean, it's like you better be surrounded by, like, as I stated in the other video, like the Secret Service is taking you everywhere you go, because that's how much protection you need in order to protect $11 million. This is not $11. This is not $11,000. This is $11 million here. So you better protect that. But this is the result of people that want to show off everything that they have. That, to me, is not right to do. And you don't really realize the wrongs of what you're doing until you get older, until you get wiser, until you mature. That sometimes it's not good to just show off to the whole public how amazing your life is when everybody else around you is so damn depressed. I mean, it's not even just about money, but it could be something about, like, love, Like, everybody's freaking depressed that they can't find that special someone, and then you want to Snapchat and Facebook to the whole world how much in love you are, and how nobody else could be in love as much as you are, and how great your life is. It's just like you're purposefully putting forth an immense amount of effort to make other people feel like shit about their lives because they don't have what you have. Because the fact of the matter is, over 99% of the population are never going to find love. And then you happen to find, you happen to be one of the few people in this world that can find love, and then now you gotta let the whole world know about it. Not because you're making money off it. You're not making any money off of it. This is just all ego gratification just to make yourself feel so like you're so much above everybody because you're in love. And that is the problem that I see what her fault was. Not just one time, but just this is her whole life. Her whole life is designed to make other people feel like shit that they don't have what she has. And the outcome, she's lucky that she didn't get raped multiple times and then finally killed. And not just killed herself, but she's lucky her actions didn't get her children slaughtered as well. And her husband. I mean, just think about it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you had $10,000 cash and you want to flaunt it to everybody, Snapchat that every day. Oh, I got 10 grand. I got 10 grand. I'm at this park at this location at this time. I got 10 grand. I'm counting my money right now. All right, I'm at this location. I'm in the restaurant, sitting at this booth at this time at this hour. All right, I got 10 grand cash. Snapchat to 100 million people. Hey, I'm sitting here in the train at this time, at this moment. It's like you got $11 million of jewelry, and you want to just let over 100 million people know where you are, what you're doing, what you're wearing, who you're with. You know what I'm saying? It's just like she's got some major issues as far as like the way she dresses, the jewelry that she wears. Everything's got to be showing off to everybody, everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like getting people trapped in this fantasy, getting all these little girls wanting to be like her, dress like a prostitute, and just show off everything that you have, show off your body, show off your money, sleep around with hundreds of dudes. And she's making every dude out there want to be with somebody like her. You gotta look like that, dress like that. And this is not healthy for the world, not at all. Because women should not aim to be like her. And men should not aim to find a woman like her. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I think there's a huge fault with that. Because, I mean, already there's a fault when you're accumulating all this wealth. Not just a little wealth. I mean, not even just one mansion, but you gotta have, say, 200 mansions for yourself. And then there's all these people on the streets dying in poverty, and then you have 200 mansions for yourself. If that's not enough of an unequal distribution of wealth, I don't know what is. And then on top of that, not only do you have to have your 200 mansions, but then you have to brag about it all and how much stuff you got that others don't. I mean, I think one thing that's very important is for the really super wealthy people out there in this world. Okay, if you don't want to share your wealth because you're too damn greedy, okay, fine. But at least don't rub it in everybody's faces how much more wealth you are than everybody else and how they'll never have what you have. Those types of actions is what gets people killed. And Tupac was talking about this in an interview as well. He's saying, people starving on the streets, they got nothing, and here you are having these parties, throwing food everywhere. Like, eventually it's gonna come a time where people are gonna come, they're not gonna ask for the food anymore. They're gonna come take it. And that's exactly what happened. It's like you're so wealthy, if you have any sort of intelligence, if you want to survive in this world, you better hide that wealth. Because everybody's going to want that. And it's the same thing with love. I mean, everybody's out there dying for love. And you finally find somebody special, and you want to broadcast that all over the world. Don't be surprised if whoever your interest is ends up getting stolen from you and ends up being with somebody else. I mean, it takes life experiences and wisdom to come to the understanding when to limit yourself and what you choose to brag about, what you choose to show off amongst a world that is very violent, very aggressive, very competitive, very egoistic, with such strong lack of love. There's already so much misery in this world. You don't need to rub it in people's faces how amazing your life is compared to theirs. I think there's just a lot that could be learned from this situation. You know, and I personally am very sick and tired of giving all this attention to people who have all this fame, all this money. It's like, as I stated, they're dangling in front of you something that you will never, ever have in your life. I don't like chasing after things that are not real. I like to live a real and authentic life. And a lot of the shit out there that they're putting to you is having you chase a fantasy that does not exist. It's like a person living every day to try to meet Santa Claus one day. It's never gonna happen because the reality is Santa Claus doesn't fucking exist. This is made up. This is something made up. It's a story. And when you're constantly looking at somebody who's living this certain lifestyle, this extravagant lifestyle of all this luxury, $11 million of jewelry, whatever, all this extravagant stuff, that's never gonna happen for you. But yet you're chasing after something that will never exist in your life. That's why I really appreciate the artists out there that teach you to appreciate what you have, that teach you to enjoy the simple things in life that could immediately be enjoyed at this moment. You don't gotta wait. You don't gotta strive. You just enjoy the moment right now, right here, because that's what's real. But people like her encouraging over 100 million people, over half the population of the world or whatever, to strive over something that doesn't exist, I have no respect for that. And then in addition, just the way that she's representing herself as a woman, it's horrible. Trying to have the whole world be like a slut. All the females in the world be a slut. You know what I'm saying? And like, just show off everything that you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is a very extremely sad society. Because essentially, what she is doing to the world is as bad as what MMA has done to martial arts. She is essentially inspiring millions, hundreds of millions of women to pretty much become porn stars. Just like fighters in MMA are encouraging millions of people to become fighters, she's encouraging hundreds and millions of women to become porn stars. That's the in thing now. To have a sex video out there, to date like hundreds of different dudes, to just show off your body to millions of people all over the world. That stuff, that pornography, this MMA is supposed to stay private, underground. This is just something that is not supposed to be mass produced to the world like the way it has been. It's okay for porn to exist, but not in the mainstream level of what's going on with this Kardashian thing. It's okay for violence to exist, but not in the level of mainstream commercialization the way MMA is. I think this article is indicating a time for spiritual growth for her. And if she could finally grow up and mature and gain a little intelligence and wisdom, she has the power to influence and change hundreds of millions of women and men out there based on her decisions. Nobody, a lot of women say, oh, you can't tell me how to dress. But you gotta tell yourself how to dress. Because what you wear is a reflection of who you are. And if you want to dress like a slut everywhere you go, if we live in a lawless society, and every time a woman dresses a certain way, and if she gets raped and killed, then that's going to be teaching the woman out there that if they want to live, then they better not dress a certain way. And if we live in a lawless society where every time somebody flaunts any wealth, they're going to get killed immediately, then that's going to eventually teach you that, hey, if I want to live, then I shouldn't flaunt my wealth. Don't think the law will protect you and everything. That, oh, they're not going to want to go to jail, so they're not going to rape me, even though I'm wearing this, showing everything, and I'm getting him all horny, but I'm not going to give him any. I just want to tease him because I like the attention. I mean, there's going to be men out there that don't play these games, these hard-to-get games. They're just going to straight up rape you and kill you. Because they don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If you're a rich, wealthy person and you think, oh, they're not going to rob me because, they're not going to do anything to me because they're not going to want to go to jail. I'll just call the police and they'll be in jail. Well, there's going to be some people that just don't give a damn. They're just going to kill you. Because you know what? You made them jealous. And this world is filled with jealousy and competition. So you gotta be very careful with what you choose to flaunt out there in Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. And just double think, like, why are you doing this? Are you making money? If you're not making money, then what the hell are you doing it for? You know what I mean? I see there's certain negativities to this social media, and I think a lot of us are getting pretty much fucked over from Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat. They're not giving us any damn money for all this time that we put into it. We're putting our personal lives all over the internet for no pay. And I think it's time to fight back. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand if you're gonna risk your life and your privacy for some money sometimes. But we're not getting paid nothing. And then now, she has lost $11 million of jewelry because of Snapchat, because of Instagram. What is Instagram? What is Snapchat? How much money did they pay her? Did they pay her $11 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, before the time of the internet and all this social media bullshit, when you show off your things to people, you're supposed to show off to your close friends and family because you trust them, that they're not gonna turn around and kill you for what you got. But with this social media thing, it's like inviting 100 million people to your wedding, and then you don't know 999.9999 million of those people. And then out of all those people, who are the ones that you can trust? All it takes is just one person that hates you to kill you. So, putting yourself out there in the public like that is not that much of a smart thing to do.